Life is hard, not the kind of hard that disappears after a good night's sleep, but the kind that lingers, the kind that follows you into quiet moments, into the spaces where there's nothing left to distract you. It shows up at night, when everything is silent, but your mind isn't. And in those moments, you start to feel it more clearly, not just tired, but drained. Drained in a way that rest doesn't fix, mentally, from constantly thinking, emotionally, from carrying things you can't explain, spiritually, from trying to hold on to faith when everything feels distant. And the hardest part is, nothing looks obviously wrong. From the outside, your life still makes sense, but inside, something feels off, like you're carrying a weight without knowing exactly what it is. And that's where the confusion begins. Because when you can't name what you're feeling, you start questioning everything. You wake up some days, even and before anything even happens, there's already a heaviness sitting on your chest. No clear reason, no visible problem, just a quiet pressure. That makes everything feel harder than it should be. So you try to move past it. You get up, you follow your routine, you show up the way you're expected to, and from the outside, it works. People see you functioning, talking, responding, even smiling. But internally, there's a completely different reality. A deeper conversation happening inside you, one filled with questions you don't say out loud. Questions like, why does everything feel delayed? Why do I feel stuck, even when I'm trying? Why does it feel like I'm carrying more than I can explain? And slowly, without even realizing it, you begin to compare. You look at others, and it seems like they're moving forward, finding direction, making progress. And you feel paused, not physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And that's when the shift happens. It stops being about life and starts becoming about you. Your thoughts begin to fill in the silence. At first, it's subtle, just small doubts, but over time, they get louder, more personal, more convincing. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I've already fallen behind. And the more you think, the heavier everything feels. Because now, it's not just life that feels uncertain. It's you, your decisions, your direction, your identity. And then it goes even deeper, into the place you don't easily talk about. Maybe God is silent. Maybe I've lost my connection. Maybe I'm going through this alone. So you try to reach out. You try to pray. You try to reconnect spiritually. But something feels different. The words don't flow the same. The connection doesn't feel as strong. And that creates a new kind of confusion, because now, even your source of peace feels quiet. And that silence, it doesn't just hurt, it makes everything feel uncertain. But what if this silence is not absence? What if it's actually exposure? Because the truth is, not everything you're feeling is meant to stay hidden. Some things have to surface before they can be transformed. That heaviness you keep trying to escape, it's revealing something. Patterns you've outgrown, mindsets that no longer serve you, attachments that are quietly holding you back. And that confusion you feel, that sense of not knowing who you are anymore. It's not failure, it's transition. You're no longer who you used to be, but you're not yet who you're becoming. And that space in between, it's uncomfortable by design, because you're being reshaped, not on the surface, but at your foundation. And when transformation reaches your foundation, that's when everything starts to feel unstable. This is the point where most people walk away, not because they're weak, but because they misunderstand what this moment is. They think the discomfort means something is wrong. They think the silence means nothing is happening. They think the weight means they're failing. So they return to what feels easier, what feels familiar, what doesn't challenge them to grow. But spiritually, this is not the moment to leave. This is the moment to stay. To stay when your emotions are telling you to run. To stay when your thoughts are filled with doubt. to stay when nothing feels clear. Because this space, as uncomfortable as it is not empty. It's active. God is working, not in ways that are always visible, but in ways that are deeper than what you can currently understand. And this is where your role begins to shift. Because now, growth becomes a decision, not a feeling. You move, even when you don't feel ready. You show up, even when motivation is gone. You trust, even when clarity is absent. And slowly, through those quiet decisions, something begins to change. And when that change begins to take place internally, that's when you finally start to understand why this season had to feel the way it did. Because now you can see it differently. You can see that the pain wasn't random, it was intentional. Every moment of confusion was forcing you to look deeper. Every moment of silence was teaching you how to trust beyond feelings. Every moment you felt like giving up was building a strength you didn't know you had. So yes, life is hard, but not in a meaningless way, in a shaping way, in a refining way, in a way that refuses to let you stay the same. And that's why your pain is not empty. It's carrying something, a promise of strength, a promise of clarity, a promise of a version of you that could only be formed through this process. And that version of you, it's not waiting at the end. It's being built right now, in the middle of the confusion, in the middle of the pressure,